A lot of people have been reaching out regarding my Contaminated Pulpits series regarding Michael Lee King and the King family in Salisbury, North Carolina. One reason they're reaching out is because Michael Lee King has been up there lying to people, telling him that he's gotten off on all these charges, which he hasn't. Now, if you want to see that whole series, it's on my YouTube, and I'll put that link in the comments for you. But just to be brief with it, Michael Lee King impregnated a young lady who was very young, underage. He impregnated her, and it was time for her to have that baby. He ended up talking his brother, Titus King Sr., into assuming the role of being the child's father. He even named the child after him. Now, that young lady was brave enough to speak up. Her name is Evangelist Jacqueline Spears, and her son's name is Titus King Jr. And throughout that entire family, there were multiple victims. It was a lot of victims that are in the family. And a lot of those PDFs are John King, Titus King Sr., Elvis King, and Michael Lee King, plus a whole lot more. You see, this entire time, the one that Titus King Jr. was calling uncle was actually his father. And the one that he was calling father was actually his uncle. It's messed up because they were covering up each other's sins. So to answer that question, yes, he has a court date, and that court date is June the 1st. He's not getting off of those. He has 3 felony charges. Y'all remember when he called me the bald-headed prophet and said I was slandering his name and I was lying on him, and there was a lot of people taking up for him. But you know what? That DNA didn't lie. That DNA came back that that child, Titus King Jr., was his. Now I need to address all the leaders, pastors, and churches, etc., all up there in Salisbury, North Carolina, and other places too, who are supporting Michael Lee King. The ones who are victim shaming Miss Jacqueline Spears and all the other victims. Yeah, the ones that y'all are trying to force to be quiet. Let me say this. Isaiah 58:1 says to cry aloud against wrongdoings. And that's a very powerful call to action. As a matter of fact, it says, cry aloud, spare not. Lift up thy voice like a trumpet and declare unto my people their transgressions. That right there is a plea, an urgent plea, to stand firm against injustice and moral failure without fear or hesitation. You see, when y'all are sitting up there trying to silence people like Evangelist Jacqueline Spears and all the other victims, you're trying to cover your pastor's sin. You're trying to cover the sins of those that you consider leaders because it messes with your reputation. It's called a cover-up. And what you're doing is enabling a cycle of sin. And check this out. Cover-ups require ongoing lies. But that truth, it always comes to light. And those trying to throw out scripture of 1 Peter 4:8, love covers a multitude of sins. It doesn't ignore them or cover them up. You see, a lot of y'all are using that passage and other scriptures to cover up sinful activity that should be addressed. Love covering sin is very different than cover up. Come on, somebody. You see, my problem with a lot of you churches up there, and I'm not going to call your name yet, but my problem is you're trying to suppress somebody's testimony who is able to help other people who are actually going through the same thing. If you knew how many people reached out to me regarding what's going on up there, not only in the King family, but in a lot of churches. The thing about it is they just wanted me to wait before I said anything. Do you truly understand Revelation 12:11 when it says they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony? I want y'all to understand this and hear me clearly. First, they overcame him. The him is the enemy, the accuser, Satan, the one whose entire job description is pointing fingers and whispering like many of y'all are doing. That part right there is telling us how many voices get shut down. Now, that other part that says they overcame by the blood of the Lamb, that's just biblical language saying the victory didn't come from their effort. It came from Jesus. It came from the Most High. Then that one part that says by the word of their testimony. See, a testimony is not a perfectly edited life story or some type of dramatic before and after. It's just telling the truth. And that's what God did. And for y'all that are wanting to tell your testimony, that verse right there, it says, don't let fear keep you from telling the truth. And to you churches, shame on you.